Hi. Hi. Am I the Lulu when it comes to spirituality? Is a question I'm asking myself a lot. Yes, it's a lighter topic for today. Well, touches on some darkness, as everything, but still overall lighter. But yeah, am I delusional when it comes to spirituality? So, let's break it down. Here's my belief in terms of religion, and whatever I say for myself does not need to be put against your beliefs. That's not at all the point of this. I was raised going to the church. Yes. Christian church, pretty sure. I grew up going to the church. Yes. Am I a believer? No. I don't have my first communion. I think that's the name. I never finished it. So as far as religiously where I am, I'm baptized. But I'm not a believer. I don't believe in God. No offense to you if you do. This is always a touchy subject. What I do believe in, though, is the universe. I want to say higher being, but it's not a being. Whatever this magical thing, in my case, the universe is what I think it is. The universe. If the universe makes it happen or whatever. I kind of see it as that, like the big one whole. Whole as in like complete whole, not whole as in, oh, fuck. Okay. I'll be ready for some chuckles, or maybe I'll be the only one laughing. Who knows? Hi, this video is sponsored by me. But guess what? There's actually a reason for this now. I just got an email communication about potential future sponsor. So this is either working or it's good practice. Either way, yes, today is sponsored by me, but in the future might not be. In the meantime, if you want to support the channel, all you have to do is subscribe and watch. Watching is pretty important. But subscription, turns out, is the biggest deciding factor of whether or not a video gets pushed, at least in my experience and my analytics. So that's your best way to support. Otherwise, you can make me your spiritual being. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Please don't. Okay, back to the video. I don't believe in God anymore. I don't think I did when I was a kid either, but who knows? I definitely stopped believing very early on. I also didn't like particularly all the ways that Christianism was, I think, limiting or judging. I also think I had the hardest time believing in Christianity growing up because I grew up in shit. I grew up in hell. And it made no sense to me at all why that was happening with everything they tell you about God and Christianism. Once again, if you are, no shame to you, no issues with you. You don't need to fight me on this. I don't need to fight you on this because I'm not doing that. I'm sharing my belief, okay? I'm so scared I'm sharing this, which is funny because it's like a lighter subject. Yeah, in my experience, which was like a lot of rough shit, it made no sense that this was how it was supposed to be, that somehow there was a strong, powerful, magical being controlling everything and making my life what it was. It's an interesting point as we move forward with the topic because I don't know if that applies still, or if it doesn't apply. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But as far as real religion goes, that was my belief until it wasn't. There was also a bunch of shit that was pretty annoying because I never got my first communion. I was never allowed to eat the l'hostie. I'm French, so I don't know, the cookie, right? The wafer, is that what it's called? The wafer, or drink from the chalice, le calice. Yeah, le calice, yeah. Tabernacle is the table, right? Which makes sense, tabernacle. Anyways, I was never allowed to have those, so I was always feeling left out because at some point in the sermon, they make everyone go in line and, get it. And I would just stay in my seat because I wasn't allowed. And also, I did try to get my first communion. And the thing is, which is weird, on the year where I was supposed to do it, because at the time there used to be like religion in school as well. On the year where I was supposed to do it, I chose not to. I just didn't feel like it. And somehow that was okay. And then the following year, because everyone the year before, all my friends, everyone had done it. I was like, oh shit, I guess I should. And the following year, they decided to make it a 2-year process. So for whatever fucking reason, I skipped the last year that it was a 1-year process. And as a punishment, I would have had to do that for 2 years. I did it for 1 and then I quit because I was like, what the fuck is this? They're forcing me to go to church and get a paper signed by the priest to prove that I went. Yeah. In hindsight, I don't even understand why they would change it from 1 year to 2, other than forcing kids to be there longer. Because I don't know the curriculum and how that needed to be spread over 2 years instead of 1 for the same frequency of sessions, classes. I don't know. I don't remember much from that. But either way, a lot of it was a pain. After that, I became someone anyways that believes in science. I do believe in science and I believe in proof for most things, which is ironic as we move forward because there's also a bunch of shit that is not that whatsoever. But I think a base of my belief is science and proof and, actual research and facts. I would say that's the part where I'm not delusional. And then the question comes up with the other part, which is I believe in the universe. I believe in destiny. I don't believe in destiny in a way that your whole life is planned out and set to happen how it does. Because once again, just like I felt as a kid, I would feel like that's absolute shit to have that be my destiny, like the many hardships I had to go through. My perspective of destiny, which is just my perspective, that's all it is I have this feeling that destiny is moments that confirm you're on the right track. Like destiny is a path, is a track that you can sway off of, veer off of, and come back to. That's kind of my take on destiny. So yes, there is a path, destined whole experience. And then with your choices, with your freedom, you get to sway in and out of the path, I guess. And my personal perspective on it is I get a lot of deja vus in my whole life. And I feel like a deja vu is a confirmation that I am on the right path. I had a vision of that moment and it came to happen. That's pretty good confirmation. It's my spiritual side of that. I like to think my deja vus are just saying, you were meant to be here exactly at that moment and that thing. So whatever led to that moment was also part of it. And in my experience, it's actually happened with a lot of deep things, like certain people that I met that I ended up being very, very close with, that the bond ended up being super deep with. And it made sense that somehow destiny proving to me that I was still on the right track with a deja vu, I guess, it correlated with the value of what led me there or what that was in the first place. In a weird, cool, creepy thing. I guess spirituality is really broad, so I have to touch on a lot of points. When it comes to, I guess, life or afterlife, ooh, it gets tricky. Man, it's, I don't know, weird to say online. My mom's a psychic and I was the first one to not believe it growing up. I was constantly questioning it, while at the same time, I don't know, seeing my mom do all the things and being a kid that used to get premonitions. And I still kind of do, but I think it's been not like it was when I was a kid. I remember having a premonition for an accident that happened in my family where I lost an uncle-in-law, and my aunt ended up burnt to an extreme degree. I don't know. She's still alive. She's good. But this was a big accident, and I remember my mom knew. My mom with her fucking psychic stuff. You see how much I believe it? Like her fucking bullshit, whatever. But there was psychic stuff. She knew even before. She had told them, please don't do this. Please just don't do that. I have a very bad feeling about this. Don't do it. And in my case, it was more on that day, I kept telling my mom, hey, can we go see them? I don't feel good about whatever. And yeah, there was a fire incident, and that's what happened. That's one of the examples. I predicted a bunch of, not predicted, I premonized. I had premonitions about a bunch of accidents, like little light things. So that's something too. Okay, that used to be kind of my gift. I guess that and like feeling spirits, because spirituality kind of touches on that. I think in my belief or perspective of life and death, or what happens after life or before life, one, I do like to believe in the egg theory, that we are all one being and you're just kind of choosing, every time you're done with your current life, you're choosing to go and experience another life and not following time. It's not a linear time thing. To me, that's been a belief that makes a lot of sense. Obviously not backed by facts, but it's even been reported by people who died and came back to life, like a lot of the same details as the whole concept, as the whole experience. So it kind of points to that, as much as it's not a perfect science, obviously. Otherwise, we'd all agree and just believe in that, you know? But my belief is that your soul, your being, not the ego self, because we often think the soul is the good, happy self. I think your soul is just the whole, it's hard to explain, but your soul is the one whole you, your full self, your complete self. And I think you are in your body while you're alive, hopefully. And then comes the time where once passing comes up, some souls don't cross over yet into becoming another. There's kind of a black void described by people who have died and come back to life. And it's kind of the same way I envisioned it when I did a past life regression. So before choosing to go into that, I think your soul has the chance to linger a lot of the times, especially if you have something you didn't get done yet, or you just want to keep an eye on family, loved ones, or something happened. But some souls remain, linger, and then eventually can pass. But that's what's interesting with my mom and I, her being a psychic and being very religious. We both disagree on what that is, because she believes in heaven. Anyhow, that kind of is one of the ways I believe it, that you can linger and then you can also choose to move on to the next life. I remember when I did a past life regression, and that was wild and shit I never thought I could come up with. So that's why I kind of believe it, because it's all stuff I wouldn't have come up with. A lot of the things that I saw were things that I never would have consciously just said, yeah, that's my past life right there. Like a lot of things made not just no sense, but went against what I would otherwise think is okay to imagine, to picture. I don't know. Well, I guess I should clarify that, because that sounds weird. Me being a white guy feels weird. I don't think I ever would have allowed myself, if I was trying to consciously say what my past life is, I don't think I would have ever allowed myself to make myself any other ethnicity. I feel like it would have felt not okay. That's what I mean by that. And when I did it, I wasn't white. I'll just keep it at that. But I remember in that whole envision thing, in that whole past life regression session, the questioning, this looking back at the life that had just ended and being offered a choice for the next one, stating exactly what was coming up, and then having the choice to choose to, yes, go for another round, or I don't know what would happen if the soul just says no. Obviously, I don't know, clearly. I feel like I'm insane for saying this. I feel like I'm insane for posting this, because this is the type of shit that you kind of think to yourself in secret. But I guess that's kind of the whole subject. Am I delusional when it comes to spirituality? So that's kind of my take on destiny, my take on life and death, or souls. I do believe in soulmates, not just loved ones, not just like a love relationship, but I don't know all the terms like soul ties, soul contracts, I don't know. But a lot of those descriptions make sense. I think I met one soulmate in my life. That is 100%, and that's my best friend. And the reason is, before we officially met, we met multiple times. And to this day, no one else has been an instant connection that remains. He's literally the oldest friendship I have, and the deepest yet most effortless relationship I have. And genuinely, it was creepy, because we officially talked for the first time when we were 12. And as our friendship grew and we kept telling each other old stories and whatever, we discovered that we met, I think, potentially at the early age of 5, because that was weird as shit. We were walking into a neighborhood where I grew up in, and then he said he grew up in that neighborhood. And we walked right by a park where I used to play in every day. And he said he used to play in every day. See, like that was like, in that moment, I was like, no fucking way. Like, we're just walking in this random neighborhood that we had neither of us had been in forever. And we're both like, I used to play at that park. What the fuck? Another round of when we met was when we were 9. I was checking out a football team, like trying to join a kid football team, American football. And there was one kid that ran so fast, faster than everybody else. I was just watching because I had a friend that was in the team. That was him. When we met later on, literally pictures, videos of him being that fucking kid. It was weird. And then a lot more occasions where we were aware of each other's existence prior to when we met at the age of 12. I think from 10 or 11 years old. I guess for 2 years before that, I think is accurate. We both did track and field. He did it for longer than I did. And so we knew of each other, because I was known as the rebel piece of shit. Yeah, okay, so we both knew of each other because I was known as the rebel kid that didn't want to fucking run in track and field because I hated it. I liked my field events. I wasn't a track event guy. I was a shot put and javelin and high jump guy, and he was running sprints. And because in track and field you have to do both track and field, and I had this insane cardio, I was put in the long distance running every time. But the thing is, I hated it because I did have cardio, but I was bored as shit, and they would never allow me to have headphones. At the time, I guess it wasn't even that common to have headphones in. But like, I was like, listen, if you want me to run a 5K, a 10K, let me have music. I am bored as a motherfucker running in circles. But they never did, and I was really, really bored. I used to never want to warm up. Like I would get to practice, and all the warm-ups would be especially running oriented. So I was always like, maybe I'll just show up late, or like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, I'll be back. And then I would purposely wait super far away, keeping an eye on them. So we knew of each other because he was the high-performing athlete, fastest guy, constantly getting first place medals. And I was the lazy one that never wanted to do any of the running shit. And I was still placing in second or third for my disciplines. So it was working out. But either way, we knew of each other for a few years until first day of high school. We ended up in the same class. And I guess this video is turning into how I met my best friend soulmate. We ended up in the same class, and we both had one friend, the same guy that we knew from track. Each of us had interacted with, because that friend was both a runner guy, but he also used to do high jump. So I was interacting with him there a lot. And the desks were set in 3. So it was literally my best friend, Chris, the Tommy was the guy in the middle, our common friend, and then myself. And Tommy got moved. Because instantly I don't know, Chris and I was just clicked, talked, and fucking to this day, still best friends. I don't even know why Tommy got moved, but I just know I stayed next to Chris. And that was, we were 12, I'm 30. So that was 18 years ago. There's a whole adult human being is the amount of time our friendship has existed, officially. Anyhow, very long story to say, I believe in soul ties, soulmates, not just lovers. So that's one of the spiritual aspects I believe in. And then the part, we're finally getting to the meat of it, the part where I'm questioning my delusion the most is the predictions of the future. I'm questioning my delusion, / I am feeling very delusional, / I am weary of being delusional even. And I'm talking specifically for like tarot reading or astrology. I believe in astrology, maybe not to the super advanced degree that others do, but somehow it makes sense. I think that's the way I believe in astrology, is the same way I believe in my mom being a psychic. I constantly question it, but it keeps proving itself. I constantly question if my mom is a psychic, but she keeps proving really effectively that she is. And I keep questioning astrology. Is it valid? Blah, blah, blah. And it keeps fucking predicting shit or being very, very spot on. And there's a degree of spot on that feels like it can't just be random. There's no such thing as coincidence. And it's kind of wild. I'm not just talking like the, I don't know, opening the newspaper and reading the astrology chapter, but like in-depth astrology. Or I guess in my case, my big three mostly. So that's one of the parts where I constantly question it, because astrology constantly has fucking weird predictions about what's happening or what is coming or what has been happening, the amount of luck or misery you're in. My big three is Capricorn, Cancer, Cancer. And this past year has been fucking coming out of a 16-year cycle of, I don't know, Jupiter or some shit, whatever the fuck, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not an in-depth, knowledgeable person about astrology, but I just know that astrology has been telling me that I was finally gonna be out of a fucking hell cycle that's 16 years long. And then a bunch of other shit. And lately, like for the past 2 months, I kept getting like every description of what was coming in the astrological, I don't know, path to whatever, that Cancer and Capricorn were about to catch a big fucking break. And I was like, bring me the goddamn break. I've been in hell. And it was constantly like, oh, maybe May, maybe June. Everything was like, right, and you'll finally catch a break. And I was like, he said that for the whole fucking 16-year phase, and that's been gone, and what the fuck? And the hell kind of kept going still. But whatever, I kept having this questioning. Wow, am I listening to all this and just being very delusional in this desperate hope that I come out of this misery, that I come out of this difficulty, that I want this fucking great thing coming my way, as stated by astrology? And tarot cards would be the exact same. The messages would pretty much be along the same lines. So that didn't help, because everything that I would do or consume, there's an important point with the consume, would point to the same thing, to a point where I'm like, wow, I really want to start believing it. But then that's the thing, am I delusional? Why do I really want to start I understand why I want to believe it. Is it valid? Is it legit? The whole questioning of it until maybe it proves itself. And the part where I want to say like the consuming is because, yeah, fucking TikTok For You page will serve you videos about tarot, right? Oh, a tarot reader. Oh my God, is this message for me? And then maybe I'll watch one. And I do gotta say, I like that tarot readers on TikTok do that. They give you a whole bunch of things that are like, if this is relating to you, you're gonna have this. Like, these are signs that this is relating to you. Because if they didn't do that, I'd be like, oh, fuck you, you're just saying bullshit. And it still could be that. But when the signs are like so weirdly specifically me, I'm always like, there's no fucking way. How are you coming up with that? What the fuck? And then the message always happens to be something I need to hear, I want to hear, a future that I want to look forward to, a situation that I feel like I'm actually in, and this is saying this is the solution that's going to come my way. Oh my God. But the thing with that too is the more you consume that, the more TikTok is going to feed you the same shit. Oh, he watched this whole video when someone was talking about Capricorns, or when someone was reading tarot about feeling like shit or whatever, coming out of a rut. So the consuming part gets tricky because there's algorithms involved. On one end, we have this thing where we consider it magic, this magical algorithm as this higher being that is clearly feeding me the right stuff. Oh yes, it's feeding me my destiny. It's just a social media app trying to keep you on it. I think I'm in the middle there. Just so I can state my position when it comes to that, I'm in the middle. I'm aware of the algorithm. I'm aware of that they feed you shit. So I think usually if I keep getting a same message, I usually just will pay attention to the first time. Oh, the first time I sat through it. Every other time after that is potentially just rehashing the same thing because the app is saying, ooh, he watched through a whole video of that. Let's give him more of that. But the first one still was something that clicked, that made me stop in my tracks and go, what the fuck? How are you predicting this? And then there's the whole future perspective of that. And how I've been questioning my own being delusional or not is the level of hope that I have in that. If I see this tarot read, or if I read my own tarot, I have a tarot deck. I don't just fucking pay attention to TikTok. I'll do tarot reads every now and then. Or same for the horoscope stuff, the astrology stuff that comes up. I always question if I'm just making it up. And to some degree, I could be. I probably am. See, I'm questioning it as I'm stating it. Crazy shit. I think it's just a constant questioning of that. And there's also my awareness of this. My brain wants to make sense of a lot of misery. And astrology or spirituality in general tends to come up with an answer to a lot of things that your brain wants to make sense of. Especially a trauma brain, a traumatized brain, which I have. My brain specifically is constantly looking for the reason why everything happens. It's questioning, and it's a control thing. It's a control response because so many things happened out of my control and I'm just trying to make sense of it. So I think astrology also fits into that. It fits into answering those questions, and so many questions can be answered, truly. And that's where that magical astrology can kind of fit in and fill that gap, and so it can make you feel like it's a real truth or not. I have the awareness of how that can be the factor too, how that can be what affects my believing of a theory, future outcome or whatever, or a reason why I am where I am, because my brain's literally looking for every answer possible, not finding it, but then suddenly this magical astrology or tarot read or whatever spiritual thing shows up and kind of says it or confirms it. That's what I meant when I said tiny bit of dark, is that I do realize and believe that aspect, the being an answer to trauma aspect, being an answer to misery, something to take you out of this shit feeling, pretty much. That's actually what religion used to do. Religion's not as strong now, depending, I guess, but in North America, in Canada, in my experience, religion isn't as strong as it was when I was a kid, but religion came as that. It was suddenly having answers to a lot of the shit things that the population was going through, whether they were made up or not. And that's why people feel comfort in religion. So it's kind of the exact same with spirituality. It's this comfort of, hey, this answers the unanswerable questions. Like I said earlier, there's no such thing as coincidence. That is definitely something I believe, and it does make me look back at every situation very differently. Just like it makes me almost solidify my belief in some of the spirituality, because a lot of coincidences happen. And then I'm like, clearly, there's something here. Is my brain connecting dots that make no sense? Maybe. A lot of the times it's a weird thing, like the deja vu. Or I get these things where I will be literally talking, and I usually have like one headphone in. I'll be talking to the dogs, and then I'll literally say a word at the same time as the song says that word. Didn't know it was coming up. I'm listening to music, whether I know the song or not. I'm just talking, and somehow I say it exactly at the same time. Or I hear it at the same time, because I always have one ear out. I'm walking by and someone is saying exactly what I'm hearing, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, how did it somehow line up perfect? Sometimes it's just one word, sometimes it's a whole fucking sentence. There's been even times, it's happened twice now, with two people that never led to anything. First of all, those never turned into a relationship, but literally twice, I had this thing where met someone, felt a lot of like a heavy connection, and then we talk about, oh, I've been listening to this song on repeat. I remember one was like 4 years ago or something, and we walked to meeting at the beach. We went to the beach, but we walked there separately and met there. And as we met, I was like, oh fuck, I ended up listening to one song the whole walk. And she was like, oh, me too. And then literal same song. Mine I got from a random ass playlist, because I listened to a lot of shit on shuffle. I was like, oh, this song really hits the spot. And I just hit repeat. And I just had it loop the whole fucking walk. And for that song to be the one that somehow the other person was also repeating on loop for a different reason. Another one that happened, this one was like more recent. I discovered the Marias, I don't know, 2 months ago, maybe? A month ago, 2 months ago? The day I discovered them. First, there was a YouTube reaction video to an album of theirs that was by someone I like watching, someone whose reactions I usually watch. I was like, I'll check this out later. And then I went on a walk with the dogs, as I do, and I think I looked up Imogen Heap radio on Spotify. I do that a lot. If I'm vibing one artist and I don't want to just listen to their music, I'll go listen to the radio. And by listening to that, a song really hit me. Like, whoa, this is really good. It was by the Marias. And then I got home and I was like, I need to check out this fucking video. And at the same time, I was talking with this person, texting. And then comes the, oh, what are you liking music or blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I listen to everything, but I guess, what have you been having on loop lately? Or what's the latest music that really made an impression on you that you're really fucking going nuts over right now? Because obviously if we like so much, it would be long, but like, what's the most recent? And then I go, man, I've been checking out the Marias. And the other person goes, are you fucking for real? And I was like, yeah, what's up? They go, I've seen them 4 times live this year. They're my favorite group ever. And I was like, huh, that's weird. And then to a point where they were like, are you stalking me? Like, do you somehow know that? Did you? And I was like, no, what the fuck? And I sent a picture of the YouTube reaction that I was actively watching while we were chatting, being like, look, like this was posted 4 hours ago. Like I mean it when I say I was wanting to watch the video that just came out, heard the artist, listened to the music and shit. It was like a weird thing. It led to absolutely nothing. So that's kind of what's funny. Twice now, had these like super insane coincidence music-wise, and a connection that I felt deeply, but then it led nowhere. So maybe I'm full of shit with the whole no such thing as coincidence, or maybe I just don't understand what they're supposed to lead to. Maybe it doesn't mean they're supposed to lead lead to a love relationship. Maybe it leads to I don't know, a lesson, something you needed to experience. I don't know. It all falls into, am I fucking delusional or not? Am I Dululu in the head or not? I wish I had the answer for you. I know the whole video is kind of trying to say whether I am or not. Instead, it's more sharing with you the questioning that's actively happening that will probably never have an answer, unless it's magically proven in the future whether or not it's real. Spirituality as a whole. I like to think that the universe works in magical ways, and it lines up a lot of things as little signs, little signals that you're either on the right track, or that it's part of your experience of life, or that it's a gift. Hey, here's the experience you're meant to have. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I've said that in the past. That one's more of a consolation belief than a real belief. I think I believe in life, you go through the experiences you go through because you're the person that can get out of them, that can get past them, and then you can help others who wouldn't be able to on their own. That's been a consolation belief that I've thought for myself about everything I went through, and then sharing it like I do all the time. But that one could just be some shit I came up to explain my hurt, my pain, in the same sense that my brain is constantly searching for a reason why. Why do I go through all that? Why is that my life? Whether there's a God or not. Why is that the life I was served? Why is that the destiny I have? And obviously I don't think I deserve, or anyone deserves, the misery. I like to think the part you deserve is the good part. Everything else is stuff that happens to be a hurdle against it or a step towards it, because you have to experience some things to really experience that great, beautiful, magic, whatever the fuck. Because if you didn't have some of the experiences, you wouldn't even know how to embrace that or cherish that for what it is. There's that too. I believe in karma, but that one's like, usually I'm so adamant with karma, like, oh, it's gonna even out. First of all, it's a physics law, the law of averages. Everything always comes back to the middle. Everything always averages. So kind of the same as karma. And I always fucking believe it so adamantly. And then I've been going through so much hell that I'm like, bro, when is this fucking karma flipping? What the fuck? Did I somehow not realize I had so much good before and now I'm paying the price? Or am I just paying the fucking price for a maybe good that's coming? When the law of average kicks in, when karma kicks in, am I about to go fucking up? And that's why it's been so bad? I don't know. But what I can tell you is the last weirdest little timing thing that's making me question whether I'm Delulu or not when it comes to spirituality is how everything was saying that for Capricorn and Cancer, June 9th, which is today, the day I'm filming this, was gonna be the turning point for the next year, about to live a great life of prosperity and, I don't know, greatness or good shit. Just experience good shit for a year. And in the days leading up to today, I was like, man, I fucking hope so, because I had a really rough May and it still wasn't so stable. But you wanna know what's weird? At midnight yesterday, a potential company that I would consider partnering with for sponsorships emailed me out of the blue that I did not know them, and somehow they found me and is a good fit. And it literally came in at midnight. What? And then another good email came through today too. So that's 2 emails within less than 24 hours of the magical date where things are supposed to change for the next year. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe it's just a belief answer to alleviate all my hell feelings. But it's also weird how fucking magically timed things are. There was so much to say about this. I didn't even talk about angel numbers. I see angel numbers all the time. They're usually part of those tarot videos as well. They say, oh, if you're seeing these numbers, I'm seeing them all the fucking time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I see almost daily. 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2. I see almost daily. They're my numbers. 4 is my number, like literally my magical lucky number. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, and 2, 2, 2 I see all the time. Yeah, so I didn't even get to touch on angel numbers or the beings that you're meant to connect with. As I point behind me, I thought that's where, oh yeah, that is where Mocha is, but under the table. I thought she was on the couch. The beings that life sends you, because in a really weird magical way, they show up exactly as a somehow soul connection. I feel that with them, which obviously could be just from the insane love, but it just feels so crazy. Take Mocha, for example. Muffin is just as magical, FYI. Mocha is just a really weird combination of the dogs I grew up with. Fucking weird middle ground. And so is Muffin. That's what's so fucking crazy. My first dog was a German Shepherd. I'll finish it with this story. My first dog ever was a German Shepherd. My mom had a German Shepherd when I was born. So my first best friend up until I was 8 was Lady, the German Shepherd. She was a female. She was lovely. She was my bodyguard, my best friend. I just have pictures of me sleeping on her belly. I used to use her as a pillow all the time on the floor. And she was the cutest, best. And then another dog I had was a husky. His name was Gizmo. But then my third dog was Toby, and he was a boxer mixed with a lab. And Mocha is a shepherd mixed with unknown, but in my theory, lab, because she's a shepherd, has the body of a shepherd, but her fur is almost the exact same patterns as Toby. So I got a female German Shepherd. Her unknown mix is somehow, I'm guessing, a lab, and therefore somehow the connection of all those dogs. And as rough as it was in the beginning with her, that bond is really built, and I do feel like my soul is attached to her. Muffin too has a bunch of random little, actually Mocha's born on 11/12. She's born December 11th. Actually, she's born 11/12/2023. So can you see 1, 2, 3? It's there a lot in terms of angel numbers. I literally at some point was like, wait, what the fuck? And I wrote them all down. I was like, this is crazy. What is this magical thing? But yeah, I think they're potentially soul ties I have and souls I was meant to find now. Can I say it's no secret that I am, well, I guess it is a secret. It's a 100% certainty to me that I am still alive right now because I have them, because I would not leave them behind, because I don't want them to ever lose me. I'm not saying I'm in any risk right now. I am not, okay? Obviously, I got Mocha when I was in full CPTSD episodes, and I've been going through so much hell that no matter where my head was at in terms of life or death, every single time, ever since I've had them, the answer has been, no matter what, if I died, I would come back to life. No matter what, just because I would need to come back and take care of them. I don't know if this was too much to share or not. I'm okay, I'm all right, don't worry about it. And it's June 9th anyway, so I'm supposed to have an amazing year ahead of me. Shit, usually joking is a coping mechanism. Hopefully my therapist isn't seeing this video. She says she wants to watch my videos, but she never does. Hopefully she doesn't see that one, because it would make for a very awkward next session. If you want to hear me talk about more stuff, you can click right here and watch more stuff. Thanks a bunch for watching. Remember, you can subscribe, and just, yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna go edit and hang out with dogos and delusionally look for every single sign that tells me I have a bright future or immediate future. Bye.